So I wanted to come and share with you like some revelations about soul ties. Well, me personally, the soul ties that I had, because I had these ties for 8 years, and it's just tripping me out because let me tell you, the freedom, oh my Lord, the freedom that I feel right now is amazing. I honestly did not know that I had a soul tie simply because I knew that I hadn't had sexual relations with anybody. But I didn't know that that's not the only way that soul ties are formed and created. And so yesterday, while I was going through writing out and coming up with this prayer for soul ties, I got the revelation of all the things that I was feeling about this person. And it was just blowing my mind because I'm like, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different things. Let me just get into it. I recognized this because my thoughts were completely consumed of this person. I mean, non-stop. I could not stop thinking about them at all. And I couldn't understand it. I remember times I just prayed and I was like, why? Why do I think of them all the time? I was truly obsessive. Like, they weren't even around me, but they were my world. And it was so crazy because like all of my decisions were based around them, to the point where, I didn't want to post anything because I didn't want them to think that I was, doing anything against what their will was or what they liked. And oh my Lord, every time I listened to their music, I felt this like connection. And I mean, a super strong connection and attachment to them. Sometimes to the point where like certain songs I couldn't even listen to. But every time I listened to a song, my heart would just race and go and just be extreme, to the point where it was like there was this unbreakable connection, but it's broken in the name of Jesus, so has no power over me. I fantasized about them in my mind, and it wasn't like sexual fantasizing. It was more just like spending my life with them. It was just everything that I did, everything that I wanted to do included them and involved them. It was like I felt like I didn't even want life without them. And when I tried to let go and stop, my heart would just go crazy. I was like, oh my Lord, this was real. And when you're in something, you normally do not realize or recognize that you're dealing with supernatural spirits or whatever attachments. You don't never know until you come out of something and you start looking back and was like, yo. I remembered having dreams about them, and even during the times that I wasn't thinking about them, it was just like they're popping up in my dreams. And I just couldn't understand that, and I realized that was part of the attachment. You know, I literally idolized them, and I repented of that because I was like, you are not to idolize anything or anybody. Nothing should be placed in God's position or above God. To the point where all I cared about was them, their attention, their time, like everything. I literally felt like I could not move on in my life without them. And it was like, wow. I just remember praying and just asking God, why? Why? You know, it was like I couldn't go outside of them. It was like they were the end all, be all to everything that I wanted. I just couldn't live without them. And I just felt like everything had to be about them and was only about them. And I'm like, I still acknowledged God. I still worshiped and served God. But I realized that they were God in my life. And that's major. Let me tell you, if you ever feel like a particular person or thing is your entire world, there is a soul tie there. If you ever feel like you cannot stop thinking about them and every conversation is about them or that thing, you have a soul tie. Like, are all of your plans in life and your decisions based around this thing or this person? Let me tell you right now, you have a soul tie. If you fantasize about that thing or that person and you dream about them all the time, you have a soul tie. Like, if you idolize that thing or that person, they are God in your life. That's it. Like, if you feel like you just cannot move on with your life, and then when you do, you can't go higher than that thing because that thing or person is the highest, like literally on a pedestal, you have a soul tie. Like, it's just that simple. Let me tell you, we so got to check ourselves because, yeah, we down here in this world, on this earth, but there are so many things that we do not see that we need to be so in tune with God, Jesus, because the freedom that I feel now, since I broke this soul tie, oh my Lord, is amazing. Like, I have no cares in the world about that person anymore. Like, all the things that I felt before are no longer there. Freedom. Freedom. Freedom comes from Jesus, especially when it comes to spiritual things. There is only freedom in Jesus. And if you are holding on to some things, call on Jesus. Jesus will set you free.